Hello and welcome to our next reflection on growing in awareness. We talked about growing awareness of ourselves, of our feelings, of our emotions, of our thoughts. Today we move on to concentrating on growing awareness of our behavior and of how we communicate. All of this is interlinked with the other topics, so we cannot separate them that easily one from the other. But how can we pay attention to how we behave, and what impact does this behavior have on our daily life? There can be many things that impact us negatively. One of the reasons why we sometimes don't want to see the link between our behavior and the negative impact, the knock-on impact on our life, is simply because we don't want to take responsibility for doing something about it. And that's key, because this journey into our inner world is about taking responsibility. It's realizing not everything is just up to me to change or resolve. Remember, we as Christians, we rely on the grace of God. We believe that it is God who reveals all these things to us. He is there to heal. He is there to make me whole. But we need to cooperate in that process. And that can be uncomfortable, to come to a realization that my behavior is not helpful. I need to change it. And it can be very simple. For example, you go to sleep late. And so the knock-on effect is, the chances are you will find it more difficult to get up early in the morning. If you oversleep, maybe you have missed your time for prayer. Maybe the only time you had for some quiet time for yourself. If you oversleep something like prayer, for example, you might then start feeling guilty about it. You might start putting yourself down. Well, look at me, how lazy, how bad, how unfaithful I am. I can't even do this properly. You can see how quickly the list grows bigger. And it's not just a prayer. The prayer one is just an example. It might be if I'm more tired, I become more stressful. I might not have the enough ability to concentrate in whatever I'm meant to be doing the next day, whether I'm at school, meant to be studying, meant to be alert, and there is me trying to catch up on my sleep. My eyes are closing. So what needs to be done? Well, I can marvel, why am I so tired, whatever, but actually I need to look at the sleep pattern. And so I need to say to myself, well, I need more sleep. I need to go early to sleep. Now, if I distract myself, maybe I can't go to sleep. Maybe I'm full of thoughts or whatever, everything else happening. Maybe I'm addicted to an electronic device like the phone or a tablet or computer, and so I stay up looking at these things when I'm still in bed or whatever. I can't let them go and put them away. Well, then this investigation into my own journey, my own life, leads me back to the reasons for that. And that's why this is so demanding a journey. This is why the Lord is needed to help us. Remember, He is the only one who can set me free from anything that is destructive. Because sin creates disorder in me. Sin is about causing chaos within my inner life. And there may be various reasons for this chaos. But it's good to discover, well, why am I behaving this way? It's not helping me. It's causing me problems. I need to do something about it. Maybe I'm always slamming doors. Maybe when I communicate with other people, I tend to look away when they are having a serious conversation with me about something to do with our own relationship between the two of us. Maybe as things get heated up, I just slam the door or whatever, or I walk away. I turn away, I walk out. Maybe I'm always complaining. Maybe I'm always resentful and angry. Well, the chances are if you are always like this or quite often, people will not want to be hanging about you. They will step aside, move away, and give you the distance that you want, that you need, because no one enjoys an argument or having someone angry around you all the time. Well, the effect of the other people distancing from you might be that you end up feeling lonely. You might actually fuel the anger and the resentment and everything else, and then blame others for your loneliness. There are so many destructive behaviors, whether it's going to sleep late that will affect the next day, uh, whether it's harboring that anger, not knowing really what to do with it, and expressing it in destructive ways through aggression, through passive aggressive behavior, and the list can be quite long. The point is, the more I grow in awareness of myself, then I can actually realize that there is hope for me. I can change. It's never too late. And please don't fall for any excuse that you might put here at this moment, saying, well, this is how I was brought up, or this is what I know from when I was that high, and now, I'm this age, and oh, it's too late, it's too difficult, why bother? I'm all right, Age is just a number. Age means absolutely nothing. We are talking about God's grace within you. God's grace is at work irrespective of your age. And presumably, as the saying goes, the older you get, the wiser you become. And therefore, more grace, more holiness. There should be more hope, more faith, not the other way around, simply allowing ourselves to stay as we are. Because if we have made it, if this is it, and there's no more change for me, then essentially what we're saying is we are ready for the next world. I might as well put over my doors, a sign RIP. Just let me rest in peace. Don't disturb me, please. Take me now. Unconsciously, that's what we're doing. That's the message we give. Whereas the Lord wants our lives to be fully transformed daily, filled with hope, filled with encouragement. That actually, the way I am, I can change, I can grow. And primarily, to remember that the measure that we should judge ourselves is by love. Is my behavior a loving behavior? Is the way I communicate a loving way of communicating? Because God is love, and so if our journey ultimately is to become more like God, then I need to grow in communicating, in behaving in a loving way. And that's what we're asked to do. So to become aware of all the destructive patterns maybe I have picked up. Some of them we have picked up from when we were children, and we still hold on to them. And to realize, well, it's taking me so many years to learn this. I shouldn't expect a miracle, instantaneous change overnight and go in the other direction. The chances are when I will discover something I want to change and I'll start working on this, I will slip back, I will fall. But that's okay. That's part of our journey. The main point is, I know where I'm going. I know the direction. And the good news is the Lord has revealed to me what needs changing within me. And the more we grow closer to the Lord, the more He will reveal to us. And that's the learning, that's the teaching of the saints. The more they got closer to the Lord, they realized the disorder in so many ways that was present within them. And so at the same time as they were filled more with love, more with that likeness of God, and they also realized the opposite was also true. And that's the mystery that we go through, that we enter more deeply into. And the more we listen, the more we become aware, the more we enter into that mystery. The more loving we become, the closer to God we are, the more we discover about ourselves. You know, how we convey our messages in a conversation, the tone of voice that we use, the words that we choose to use. Ask yourself simply this: am I doing this out of love? Is this conversation out of love? Or maybe am I trying to manipulate other people? Some people use words, very beautiful words, but not in order to build up, but to manipulate so that they get their own way. Some people use all sorts of language just to confuse you, to confuse the other. So it's important to make love, make God's love, the standard, the mirror into which we need to look to in order to discover more about ourselves. So don't give up on this journey. Don't give up and don't be put off by your failings along the way. Simply start again, and in the spirit of St. Francis, Lord, help me once again, because up to now I have done little good. And that's the spirit that will keep us going on this journey of greater discovery, of continued conversion. Just to link this all together, remember this is a spiritual journey. So enjoy it today, and may God bless you in your own discovery as you continue to grow closer to the Lord. God bless.